There are a lot of neat mechanics in Remnant from the Ashes that can be a bit confusing to understand. So let's take a look at 5 things that'll help you out on your journey. We're going to look at your tools, the loot you can find, the upgrades available to you, Remnant's unique bonfire mechanic, and the adapting difficulty. Sometimes using the right tool for the job can save you from headaches. Every piece of armor has a set bonus that improves the more pieces you wear. To top it off, they tend to have a static boost. Easiest example, if you're running low on scrap, don't feel bad about switching to the Adventurer set. There is no auto pickup for items in the game, so if you've cleared the area, you can swap to the Adventure set for a 20% boost to scrap collected, or 35% if you've got the headpiece. All the while, it increases your chance to get iron from breakables and gives you some pretty great resistances too. Being flexible with your equipment can turn a troublesome location into a less troublesome location. With that in mind, enjoy exploring the world. While you're on Earth, for example, remember to break things like bookcases. Not these ones. Chairs. Also not these ones. And pretty much anything wooden that looks like a piece of furniture. Except these small metal bookcases that can break and some other exceptions. You know what? Just smash everything you see because they can give you scrap and iron early. Just like you can get notified when my videos go live earlier if you subscribe. Bonus tip, you can swap shoulders while aiming down sights. The default button on PC is shift. You can use all of your resources for a lot of things. They're great for crafting items, buying new equipment, and upgrading your current tools. You can buy a certain number of crafting materials from Ace when you visit her, and you can also convert higher tier resources into lower tier. For example, you can make 3 iron using 1 forged iron. Pair this with the Adventurer's set and you'll be able to breeze past the first upgrade tiers. As you beat bosses, you can get rare materials that are used to craft specialized weapons and mods. While standard equipment can be leveled up to 20, boss weapons only level up to 10, but they cost more and tend to gain more per upgrade. Speaking of max level upgrades, you'll want to consider what to use your simulacrum on. These are the crafting materials that are used to upgrade any piece of gear to their max rank, but they're also used to increase how many charges your Dragonheart has. You know, that thing that keeps you from dying on a regular basis? See these crystals? Commander Ford calls these things red eyes.
Red eye.
And they function as your standard Souls-like bonfire mechanic. Click on it to rest and replenish your health, dragon hearts, and your ammo. You'll respawn at these if you die, so finding them helps make sure you don't lose all your progress when you inevitably get eaten by a tree. There's more to them than that, as these are used as your primary fast travel device. You can use these to warp back to Ward 13 at any time and then return to where you came from. You can also use these to travel to any overworld checkpoint you've unlocked, including the ones on other worlds. This is also the place where you change difficulties, select game modes, and reset your worlds. If you've played other Souls-like games before, how do you find this mechanic compares to the others? Do you prefer it? Or would you rather have a fast travel system, say, like Elden Ring? Second bonus tip. If shooting the head doesn't seem to work well, aim for the toes. You might find that you can halt an enemy's movement, or even find another weak spot that isn't obvious. This applies to bosses too, so try aiming at different locations to see what works. I touched on it a bit in my last video, but I wanted to explain how the game adjusts the difficulty in more detail, because you can absolutely use it to your advantage. This might be a bit of a brain melter, so you with me? Great, let's do this. This game uses what's called a weighted average to determine the difficulty for each new area. This average is based on your most upgraded gear for every slot, whether it's equipped or not. This includes your primary, secondary, and melee weapons, as well as all 3 armor slots. Using this weighted average, the game determines the difficulty of new zones as you enter them, and they remain at that difficulty permanently, or until you reset your world. The only exception to this are bosses, but only in that they have a minimum required difficulty implemented in their design. Long story short, the difficulty is set in each area the moment you enter it and doesn't change till you want it to. Bosses have a minimum difficulty, which means you can fight them while underprepared, at least according to the game. But it also means that you can choose to overlevel every area by a massive margin. Just remember that along with an inflated average, entering a new area will cause the game to adjust the difficulty. On a side note, this average also includes the loot you'll find, such as forged iron and up. Basically, the game encourages you to keep an even spread of upgrades for your most used gear and only calculates your highest upgrades per equipment slot. With all these tools and skills at your disposal, hopefully you'll be able to bravely conquer the route, save the earth, and fight off whatever other monstrosities may cross your path. If you want to know more about Remnant, check out the videos on the right. I'm your Benefactor, and I pray you have a wonderful day.